All right, guys, it is Tuesday, November 27th. I am Kerri Schmidt. These are the leaders of the Fit Crew and friends, and we are here today to talk about leadery type of things. So last week when we were together, we learned how to life coach. Did anybody life coach somebody this week? If you did, I would love to hear about it in the chat. Like if you could just let me know two things. One, the story. If you guys remember, what was the story that they told you and what did you figure out to be the real limiting belief? Because we know the first time we talk to somebody, what they initially tell us usually is what they've been telling themselves over and over. And the second thing, or what you find out by asking a lot of questions, is really what's going on. I see lots of typing happening. All right, well, as you guys type those up, I will get into kind of the meat of this convo. So if I forget and I decide to go into everybody's one by one thing, maybe that's something that you can share with the group if you want to, how your experience went. But I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I was a master pranker when I was in college. Like master pranker. Like the type of person that if I was living on the same dorm floor as you, you knew your life was about to be altered in some way. Now, it wasn't like pranking, like, you know, there wasn't like pig's blood involved. It wasn't like malicious pranking. It was only to people that I loved and cared about. So all of you would have been victims of my pranking in college, like if we lived on the same floor. So to give you an example, you know, like your typical, like, dress up a scarecrow in your roommate's clothes and then have the scarecrow sitting on the bench as they walk out of the dorm because they see a scarecrow wearing their clothes. Is that funny to anyone else, or is that just funny to me? No one. You're all frozen in positions of disapproval. Okay, I stepped up the game, don't worry. Or like the saran wrap over the door. So they go to walk out the door and then they like hit saran wrap. To me, that's really funny. Or it was an all girls floor. So I was known for taking people's clothes out of the like in between and then like hide and then like going back to the dorm room and then just like, to me, that was funny. Then they'd have to go back. They'd either have to get very creative with the shower curtain as clothing, or they'd have to like run back naked. One time that did backfire because they tried to do that to me, but then I just chased them down the hall in a dead sprint, butt naked. And it was pretty effective in me still being the queen of pranks. So don't try it, ladies. Don't try it. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I heard a really epic story of a pranker this week, and he made me really think about Beachbody, because that's what happens, right? When you're in this world, like you make connections to your business and the people that you're working with that you wouldn't otherwise. And to me, this was a really, really epic prank and made me want to step up my game. So have you guys heard of the artist Banksy? No? Okay, I hadn't either. So there's an artist named Banksy, and he's an artist that he's an anonymous artist. So like nobody knows his real name. No one knows what he looks like, but his paintings sell for like over $1 million. Like that kind of artwork, the kind of artwork that you look at it and you're like, pretty sure I could have painted that when I was like 7. Like to you, it's not like that brilliant of art, but to the whole world, it is like absolutely incredible. So there was this art piece called The Girl with the Balloon. And it was this little girl just holding like a balloon. So it's mostly white canvas, little girl holding a balloon. And it's a little heart-shaped balloon. It's pretty cute. And so they're at like a viewing. Okay. So all these people are there and they're bidding on the art. Finally, the gavel comes down and this girl with the balloon painting sells for $1.4 million. $1.4 million. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? As soon as the gavel hits the podium thing, the picture starts sliding down the frame and coming out the bottom in shreds. In shreds, you guys. So the people who have now bid and the person who has just purchased this painting is watching their $1 million painting coming down the frame in shreds, and everyone's freaking out like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And it was a prank. It was a prank by this like incredible artist. And the thing is, the art was supposed to go all the way through and shred into all the little pieces and then be on the floor, but it didn't. It actually stopped halfway. And so it became this big thing in the art world. Like, is this now more a piece of art? Like, was that performance, was that prank part of the art? What do you guys think? Like, to you, does it make it more art that it is now a half shredded painting hanging from a frame? I don't know. It's kind of like people get really worked up about the Banksy thing, and I find it really amusing. But I couldn't help but think to myself how crazy it was that there's like all these security guards standing around this painting. Like, they are all there to protect the security guard from the one asshole who's going to go and like run their hand across it and like mess it all up, or, you know, try to steal it, or the person who's going to try to like, you guys know, they're security guards. They're there to protect it from getting stolen or from getting damaged. And it ended up being what was within the painting that destroyed it. Like, from within, it was in danger of itself. And I don't know, I just made the connection to all the people that I've been talking to and doing this life coaching with. So many times, like, we put up all these blocks and we have these things in place to protect us from getting hurt in this business. You know, we have things in place and we have scripts and we have our personal development, but sometimes we realize that like what is holding us back, or what is making our life hard, is in here. And all of the defenses that we put up are not going to help us because it's in here. But you guys, that painting is now going for like double the value. Like, the value of the painting is now $3 million destroyed. But that's the beauty of it. Like, that's the beauty of us going through these really important, difficult parts of the journey. So if you're struggling, like if you are someone who is struggling right now, I want you to think about the fact that this is part of it. This is part, it sucks and it's frustrating and it can feel really defeating and it can feel like you're in a million pieces and it feels like you've lost your value, but that is your value. Think about all of the things that you guys individually have overcome in the past 10 years of your life. Can you imagine in 10 years what things you will have overcome? The question is, like, are you going to choose to see it as art? Are you going to choose to see it as part of the beautiful process? We get to decide that. I'm going to show you guys so you guys can get an idea, because I'm not going to leave you guys with that deep, dark part. I want you to be able to laugh with me at the people freaking the F out. Let me see here. Sharesies. Can you see what I see? Yeah, cool.
Art connoisseurs could only watch in horror as an expensive piece was shredded before their eyes. No sooner did the gavel come down to mark the sale of Banksy's Girl with Balloon for a record $1.4 million, did the picture start to slip out of its frame into shreds below. The anonymous artist claims to be behind the stunt.
Like, did you see the couple of guys in the background that were like cracking up? Those were my favorite. Anyway, so that is all. That is your art history lesson and life lesson. And just remember that that the shit you're going through is going to be what moves you to the next level, what enriches the value that you have to offer the world later. It doesn't feel like it right now. It doesn't feel like it in that moment when you're going through it. But you guys you gotta have that faith. You gotta believe. And looking at every other member of our team, I think there's so much proof that if you just hang on, you keep pushing through. Are you guys still there? You still with me? Can you still hear me? Okay. You freeze in different, no? Not with me. Lisbeth is, now you are? I was frozen. I don't know what point I was frozen at. Lisbeth, I'm unmuting you. What point, when did I freeze?
It was like your last sentence. We didn't hear what you said.
Oh, okay, thank you. I think I just said that if you give yourself the time and space to allow it to turn into something that happened in the past that you can look back at and grow from, it will become a beautiful part of your story. The end. That's all I got. So last week was more of a mentoring type of call. This is more of a motivation call to turn your mess into your message. Alrighty. Is there anyone who is ready? I'm gonna go ahead and choose Allie. So y'all just looking all cute over there, buddy.
Hi.
Hi. On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate your action last week?
Probably between like a 7 and 8. I went real hard at the beginning of the week, and then the holiday totally screwed me up. I struggled so much to do my coaching stuff during Thanksgiving, and then we went to Ohio over the weekend, so we spent 8 hours in the car, and I drove it because Kyle was sick, which wasn't the original plan. But I caught it all back up towards the end of the week. I ended up working on Sunday and caught all the other stuff back up. But since I wasn't consistently posting, my engagement got super low, and that was kind of frustrating. But I don't know. I came back as a badass, so it was okay.
I was gonna say you seem like you're doing pretty darn good, girl.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the results I'm getting over the last couple weeks. And I don't know if you guys saw, I posted in the leaders, I think the chat. I've been tripling and quadrupling the invites, and it's been helping me a lot. I wasn't hitting the numbers I was wanting to hit before with Success Club. And it wasn't that the system wasn't working. It just wasn't working for me for some reason. So I don't really think I've fully found my tribe yet. And I wasn't inviting necessarily the right people. So I just started inviting I don't know. I usually do at least 20 people a day. But there were a couple days last week I was doing 60, 70. I've done that in the last 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm at Success Club 4. But I'll be Success Club 6 on Friday. I have a girl signing up out of her next paycheck, and then I signed up 1 annual bod. So that's the most I've ever signed up in a month. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, that's so good. I
Yeah.
think definitely, like you're saying, Allie, that we have statistical numbers, what in general it's going to take, but it's obviously going to take a lot more invites. It took a lot more invites for me before people knew that I was doing this, before I had a reputation built up. It took a lot more invites before I really had nailed my market, and before I had practiced thousands and thousands and thousands of times to identify who was just kind of having conversations with me versus actually getting to the point. So I think you're on the right track there.
Thank you. I'm hoping that this week I'm going to try to do a lot better. I already am. So I've 100% so far. And then my goal is to not miss hopefully anything throughout the week. So hopefully that's doable. I'm sick right now though, so I'm trying not to let that pull my energy down while I'm trying to talk to people. So, yeah.
And you were sharing your story, like your coaching session. Do you want to tell us just a little bit, like, what did you gain from that, your life coaching chat?
Yeah, it's a good friend of mine. She's not actually even doing Beachbody stuff. I think she should, because I think she would benefit from it. But she's just been talking a lot about how she hasn't had time to work out, and like doesn't spend any time on herself. And we've been hanging out with them a lot lately because we've been building them a dog kennel. And what is really happening is she's just like really, really anxious all the time and is investing her time into like the most random things. Like she handmade like 75 bows that she could have bought from the store, and is like hot gluing bows all the time. And so I kind of was like pointing a little bit of that out and just like saying like we could restructure where you spend your time, but spending time on yourself is really, really important. And she kind of came to that on her own and then started asking like how I kind of got over my anxiety. So I recommended Girl Wash Your Face to her, and then I'm having her do that like 20-day mental health challenge that I posted about a couple days ago, just to start small, because I don't know, she's like just now kind of coming to terms that she's like investing her anxious energy into like things that aren't benefiting her, basically. So it went really well. She seemed really open-minded to it, but I haven't heard back from her since I suggested all that stuff. So I think she's feeling uncomfortable about it. So I'm going to hit her up again in the next like day or two, probably when we go back over there. So I think I'm trying to get her to do Beachbody because I think it would benefit her. I think the culture would like make a huge difference in her life.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll get there.
Get there. Awesome. Cool. Was there anything that I can help you with this week?
I don't think so. I did want to say though, like that beginning part you were talking about was super meaningful to me, because I felt when I went through like my medical stuff, like even now going through like losing my job over my back issues and like dealing with like not being able to walk sometimes and like the struggle of pain, I used to think it was like the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I like totally projected that out into the world. And I think it affected my business a lot. But in the last few weeks, especially like really the last month, it like turned out to be a really big blessing. Like I learned a lot about myself. I've ended up like spending the last 2 months doing self-care and like figuring out how to control my anxiety and control my pain, and like learning to live in the moment. So I don't know. I thought that was really cool that you chose to talk about that, because if you would have asked me 2 months ago, I was a hot mess and I thought like my world was ending. And now I'm like, I have the best opportunity ever. And I got a new job that's even better than the job that I had before.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Yeah. So it ended up being a blessing. So yeah, try not to get down on yourself. That was really meaningful to me.
Cool. I'm glad, because you guys were all frozen when I was talking, and I'm a person who like really like, you know, I need the audience participation when you're all like, it's like, no, not digging it. No one else into pranks here on this call. All right. I appreciate you, Allie. I'm muting you though. Jen.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
All right. Good. What are you eating?
What am I eating?
That's not, I'm just kidding. It is allowed because you can eat on a 3-day refresh. Yes. Looks so good. I'm going to give myself an 8 for last week. Like Allie said, I did really well, like leading up to Thanksgiving, but then it was really hard to stay motivated and kind of stay on task when I was away from my like normal routine during the holiday. And I honestly think that like all that Thanksgiving food, as delicious as it is, it like really messes with me mentally. I don't know if anyone else like feels that, but like the day after Thanksgiving, I just felt like so sluggish and lazy, and I didn't want to work out. I procrastinated my workout until like 1:30 in the afternoon, which I never do. But I got it done. I struggled through it. I needed like 2 packets of Energize to do it. So I kind of, you know, I went through the task that day, but I wasn't feeling, even when I was posting, I wasn't feeling like I'm 100% in this. Like, I wasn't kind of like re-checking out my posts and rereading them. I was kind of just like going with it and checking it off, which that's life, you know, but just being honest, you know. But this week I feel much better. I know it's only Tuesday, but I feel like it's a new week, it's a fresh start, checking things off. After our call on Tuesday, I ended up doing something within my existing challenge group. So I have 2 full-size tubs of Energize, like just like lying around, that I'm going to do a giveaway for. And I said, in order to be entered to do it, you have to sign up with me in Discount Spot, and you have to have an active order, so you can't, you know, push off your Shakeology, whatever. And you have to post in our group December 1st through 21st, and then you'll be entered in the drawing to win it. And so I was able to sign up 2 coaches under my brother, so I got him to Emerald, and went 2 coaches under my friend Mandy on the other side. The only issue with that is that they are inactive because their order shipped out before I signed them up. So I'm like super freaking close. So now my goal is to just get my friend's account, she's like lets me run it, to Emerald, and then I'll have that checked off. I'll have it. Like, I have the people in place. It's just making it happen and making sure the timing's right. So
Good
she
idea.
messaged me today.
So you put out to everybody that if they signed up as a discount coach, you had like they had to sign up as a discount coach and post every day?
Yeah, they have to every day December 1st through 20th in my challenge group. And it doesn't be like a long post. It can just be like a sweaty selfie or a motivational quote, or just like literally a post in the group that just says, just got my workout done. Like, takes 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But they have to do that in order to be eligible. So I'm hoping that the giveaway and that kind of task for them to do, the engagement will also go up, and then I can do it again in the future, because people see me drinking Energize on my stories and they're like, what is that? Like, what are you doing? How are you up at 5 in the morning? And I'm like, it's because I drink this yellow, delicious, magical lemonade. So, yeah, so that kind of like helped me get almost there. Mandy, my friend, who I signed those 2 coaches up under, told me today that she does need to pause her Shakeology order. So I was doing some research before this just on what I could do to keep her active. And I think all I need to do, I was thinking I would order Recover through her account, have it shipped to me, and like it would go on her credit card, but it would be shipped to my apartment. And that way it's 50 PV points. I keep her active, and then I still work on signing up coaches under her like this week and next week. Does that seem like a doable plan?
Yeah, I mean, there's the like coach samplers.
Yeah.
It's like super discounted, but I've heard a lot of people will just do the Energized tub with the Energized packets. So if that's something you're doing more as a freebie, that might be, I don't know if you would use the Hydrate, but if not, I'd go with the Energized since you're using it as prizes. You can, as long as she's willing to have it be on her credit card, so you don't get.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Venmo her for it. I'll like pay her on the side, and it will go on her credit card.
Yeah.
Getting creative.
Getting creative. That's right. Urgency breeds creativity. Well done.
Exactly. So that was like what I wanted to ask your help with was, does that seem like a viable plan? I'm just like I told you last week, I'm just trying to hit this milestone, and then I'm going to focus on really just building up people who actually want to run with this when I find
Sometimes
them.
You got to do that, man. Sometimes you just got to be like, okay, whatever. I guess sometimes I'll talk to like people in my town who are wanting like beach bars or whatever, but they're not wanting to sign up with the whole thing. And I'll just order them beach bars through that person's account.
Okay.
Because remember too, it doesn't have to be, well, no, for Emerald, it might be different. but I'm just thinking to keep a coach active, it doesn't have to be them ordering. It could be a customer from them. So like my dog could have a customer account and order beach bars.
For Emerald, it's 50 PB. That's for their orders.
It has to be their personal orders. Okay. Yeah. So,
which is fine. It's fine. I'm like, that's great. Either I'll order more Energize and keep doing that because people really seem to be interested in it. Mostly because I'm like dancing around my kitchen at 5 a.m. drinking yellow liquid and people are like, this girl is crazy. What is that? That's why I keep them interested. But yeah, so I can do it. I'm getting creative and then I'm going to worry about, I'm just going to keep going, staying on the freaking escalator. I'm not getting off. But yeah, so close. So just need everyone's help in helping me stay accountable and motivated.
Are there certain dates that I can like that you have set as like?
Well, I wanted to hit Diamond before Thanksgiving, and I got super freaking close. I essentially did, except 2 coaches were inactive, so whatever. I mean, I'm honestly shooting for like next week or the week after. Like I'm just, the momentum is going. And like Ali said, I needed to up my numbers to, you know, stay on track. So
what did you up to?
I've been doing 30 invites a day.
30 invites a day. How do you find 30 people to invite?
So I'm like super old school and I track everything in a notebook. I have tried I feel like every form of tracking digitally and it just has not yet worked for me. I'm like pen and paper type person. So the night before I'll like go through my Instagram and I'll do the Ashley Feldison thing where I'll pull up a letter and I'll go through people and we'll write them down.
Okay, so what she's talking about, I see Lisbeth has a look. She's giving a look of confusion. So Ashley Feldison on Instagram, you can click on your followers and then type in the letter A, and every person who follows you who starts with the letter A will come up. And so she would do one letter of the alphabet every day, because then by the end of the month, you get through every single person. Because sometimes people are following you, but like your stuff isn't really coming up on their feed. So you miss out on them. So that's what you're talking about, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll do that. And then I'll also like sprinkle in people who watch my stories if I haven't seen their name before, if I haven't like messaged them a bunch. But I have a lot of people, and you guys probably do too, who creep the hell out of my stories and never respond. It's just like messages from me nonstop and like nothing from them. Radio silence. Mm-hmm. That's fine. They're still watching. So I must be doing something right. And then people who engage with my posts or comment on my posts if I haven't been interacting with them.
Okay.
So I just try to do that the night before. So then first thing in the morning, I can get my workout done and then do all my invites after my workout and then go to my full-time job and not have to worry about it. And then just respond to messages during my bathroom breaks during the day.
Okay. Yeah. And that seems to be working.
Yeah, I think so. Fingers crossed.
Sounds like it is.
This group is like totally holding me accountable. So thank you. Like the tracker, super helpful.
Good.
I know that thing is like, it will hold you accountable for sure.
I think certain personality types, it holds accountable. In certain personality types, it stresses the F out. So it just,
I was so nervous the first week.
Yeah, I'm glad you're part of that group. That makes me happy. And I will definitely, I'm writing notes to check in with you.
Perfect. Yes, I'm hustling. Holiday hustle, guys.
That's right. And it's really good too, because I feel like when, you know, if we don't have these collaborative meetings to be able to talk about it, then if I'm inviting, you know, 5 people or 10 people and I'm not getting anywhere, and I think everybody else is inviting the exact same number as me and they're getting results, it can be really frustrating. So then to hear, so I'm doing, I do 10 invites, so 20 new convos and 10 invites but I do it every single day of the week. So by the end of the week, I've got like 70, but when obviously, if I'm trying to work towards a goal, I'm at least doubling that or tripling that. And then on Fridays, the minimum is 40 follow-ups. But lots of people who are in my group are doing like 2xing it, so 80. So if that gives you an idea number, I mean, I should be doing more than someone who is working full-time, perhaps, unless they're hustling for a big goal, but just to give you guys an idea. Cool. So anything else I can help you with, or you're good to go? Rack.
I think I'm good.
Cool. All right. You're welcome. All right. Evie, do you want to go? Do you have to drive somewhere?
Yeah, I do. Hey, Mom, can you pause that for a second? My mom has a TV show playing in the background. And I like don't want this Hallmark movie to be like trumping me because it's
pretty good.
All three of our family vehicles, like my car, boyfriend's car, mom's car, all broke down. So one just got fixed, but the other two are out of commission, and Kerri's frozen. So I don't know if she.
You guys are frozen. I'm not frozen.
Oh, and then she moves really fast when she comes back. Okay, so I had a very up and down week. So I feel like the days that I was on point, I'd give myself like a 9. But then there were days like Tuesday when I wanted to be on Instagram all day and Instagram was broken. So like Wednesday I came back really strong. Thursday I did my workout, which like I didn't think I was going to do, and I made a big post about that because that was like super invigorating for me. I did it with Danielle's team, and there were like 30 of us all doing a live workout, which was so cool. Like, you know, when you hop on Zoom and you never know who's going to be there, and it's like the black screen, and then you're like, whoa, there were so many people on there, and that was good for me. I kind of after Tuesday, our talk, and I talked with Pat, who's my coach. I kind of like rededicated myself to me and my own journey, because that was like he kind of was like, so how's your journey going? And I was like, well, it's not really moving currently. It's not going backwards, but it's not moving forward. So I'm really reinvigorated with that. I quit the job, which I actually have a lead on another part-time job that I'm really excited about because it's working with immigrants, and I think that would be really fulfilling as opposed to working at the mall. Tori, you weren't here last week. I was talking about how the job was like very, very, very like the job itself was great, but the people were just like giving me anxiety. Like if I could have worked in the store by myself, it would have been wonderful. But so I left that, and I like channeled my Kerri moment, who told me to do the harder thing and do what was best for me. And so I did that. And I've been back at it. And so I would say like maybe a 7 or a 6, just because like I feel like I didn't get anything done Friday. I was at the mall at 5:30 in the morning, and then literally
that's why we have it be a week track, so that you can hit it hard some days and not hit it hard other days, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be something that there's shame in. Like I think most of us will go harder some days, and other days we just can't. That's
So I set my goal, and I'm putting it out here, and I'm walking away from my mom because mom doesn't need to hear my goal. I'm at my parents' house since car issues, but I set my goal that I will be down 60 pounds more by Summit. And so I'm at like, since this amazing, I did the math, that was from last week. If it's 2 every week, would that have me at 66?
Okay.
So I figured there's going to be a few weeks when I don't do any, like something's not going to happen right. So I figured give myself a little wiggle room. But the cleanse has helped great, down 3.8 in one day. So that's good. But my numbers, I got a coach today, one of my challengers. She has been amazing. I actually used to work out with her in the gym and then reconnected with her to invite her, and she was like, oh, I'm actually doing 80-day. I'm starting next week. And it was like right when I was going to start. But she didn't have a coach. She just bought it online and like bought on demand online. So I took her because she had never heard from the coach who was assigned to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been doing my program since like March or April.
That's great.
And I think she bought it with a challenge pack. And so since it's been over 6 months, hopefully I get 2 points for that.
Yeah, cool.
And then I have another lady who like keeps saying she's going to sign up. So we'll see. And then another girl. So I'm hoping to hit 6 by the end of the week.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this girl because she's already gone halfway through her checklist and she's like actually doing the things. So like this is, Elle was like, this is like a business builder. Because like a lot of times I've sent people the checklist and nothing happens. So.
Well, congrats. That's great. Is there anything I can help you with this week?
No, you helped enough last week. I'm like really excited. I had a good talk with one of my coaches and she's ready to run again. So she's like reinvigorated and I'm good.
Way to go, dude. Yes. Tori, you're up, homie. Oh, sorry.
I muted myself. Hello.
Grabbing my charging cable and listening.
Okay. So I might cry. I've been an emotional mess like all week. So last week was awful.
Safe space, circle of trust. You all good.
Yeah. So
what's happening, sister?
So I had a lot. Well, I get like this season in general is always difficult for me, just feeling from a broken family, so it's never been easy sorting through all that stuff with the holidays coming. But it's my favorite season, so it's like gotta get over it somehow. But 3 of my close friends, one of them being my sister-in-law, just went through a breakup, either people cheating or whatever. And then so on Sunday, my sister-in-law and her fiance called it off, well, heated or something, and she was like hardcore threatening suicide, and I was like, no. No, you don't. So I was just trying to be there for her through all that, and it was just very, very draining for me being an empath. I'm like, okay, I need to help, and like I went through that same thing, and that's why I'm with Beachbody still, because I went through that at my first summit, honestly. All that. So that's been a mess. Between that and like not being able to work out right now really sucks for me because that was my stress relief. So I've been trying to figure out different ways to relieve stress. And I'm sorry on my call last week. I was just so out of it. I had to tell myself because all I wanted to do was work. But I knew if I kept working, I'd eventually hit a wall somewhere and then lose it completely, because that's what I do. Like, I appreciate you talking about the tracker the way you did. You're like, some people really love it and some people get stressed out by it. Like, if I'm in the wrong mindset, I get the fuck out. Otherwise, I love it. But I haven't been fully there, so it's been very difficult. Between all that, it's just been a mess. I'd probably rate myself like a 2. A 5 for like being okay. Like making it through last week was very difficult. I'm glad I'm like in a normal mindset now. But one amazing thing that came out of last week, actually a couple great things came out of last week with all that crap going on. I'm a Christian. I don't know what all y'all's beliefs are. Everything's great. One of my friends who she's not a part of Team Boom. Her ex-boyfriend was, or he is. I won't say any names or anything, but she's been struggling with faith and like finding out what her purpose is. Like she knows what it is, and she knows it has something to do with helping people. And she was a coach herself, and she quit coaching because from under him to sign up under me, because she wanted someone who actually had a passion for the business, because he's not really working cooking anything. But she got baptized last Sunday, which was super incredible. And I thought it was the most amazing thing ever. I was so happy. And her and I have been talking about, because I haven't been able to run like a challenge group successfully because it seems like everybody just ghosts me. But at the same time, I'm like, when I became consistent, I didn't have anyone coaching me. I just did it. So I was like, how do I translate that into a group? And it's been a huge struggle. So I was talking to her about everything and just how like we want to build a community. We don't want to just run this group over and over and over again. It sucks. And because it seems like not in here, because you guys are doing things differently. I don't know. It feels like like other teams I look at, everybody runs everything the same. It's just a little motivational thingy. And what was your workout today? And what'd you eat for lunch? I'm like, that is so boring. Like, I want it to be a community. I don't want this daily thread. It's horrible. It's not me, because I didn't have that. So I had to just do it myself. So it's been hard to translate that into a group. But her and I were brainstorming all week last week through her going through all of her betrayal things she had from him, and then me going through all of my stuff. Personal matters on my end too. It's been nuts. We kind of had like a Phoenix moment. I'm trying to call it, because it felt like one. And we finally created a community. And we have this set up. Like, I don't have to do prep week ever again. We have it set up in a unit thing. And I think it's going to help so much. My girls aren't very into it yet, but I went live in the group, and I don't go live very often in groups anymore because I talk all my time on Instagram. And I went live in there and was like, hey, so we did this for content for you, and I'm going to give you guys some tough love, and you guys need to go do it because I want to keep you accountable. I didn't have that, so I want to do that for you. So that's been awesome. So
you've had some like serious hardships this week, but you've had some wins, it sounds like.
Yeah, both.
Both. What kind of support, or what kind of friend do you need right now? Like, what kind of support do you need? What would be helpful to you?
I don't know, because it seems like I'm in my relationships with like some of my best friends, I'm the strong friend. So no one really asks me how I'm doing. And if they do, most of the time, except the one I'm running this group with, most of the time I'm like, do I really give them the answer as to how I'm doing, or do I just shrug it off and be like, oh, I'm okay?
Right.
So it's been hard.
We got you, girl. We'll be that friend that like you see in the hallway in school who's like, how's your day going? And you're like, bah! We all have that person, right? That like they ask and you know you can't lie. So
Right.
We're here. Just keep showing up.
Showing up. And then Thanksgiving was crazy in its own, like nothing went to plan that day at all, but it ended up being really great. I spent some time with some really great people, so that was nice. And then Friday, my period started, and having endometriosis, I emotionally ate that day for the first time in months, and I felt like complete crap. It was so bad. Like, I just couldn't not do it. And then I bloated up like 10 pounds. Like, I feel like all that stuff I did with to be mindset went into the toilet. Just bloated up 10 pounds. And then Sunday, I was like, okay, my Achilles is feeling better. I need to get my shit together because I want to have a damn good Christmas, because it's my first Christmas being married. So I need to. And so I'm going to start 21 Day Fix Extreme again on Monday. That's the program that got me into it. And if I have to not do plyo, then that's fine. I will modify however the fuck I have to, but I can't keep doing this. I haven't worked out in a month. Like, not even yoga. Like, it's been hurting that bad. But recently I'm like, okay, I need to push past this and be stronger. And I think it's a blessing in disguise, because I'm going back to basics in my head anyway, because I've done more complicated programs, and I'm going back to basics, and I'm going to have to trudge through this with my girls, which I think is great that I have that opportunity to do that again. So I'm just trying, it's the perception thing like you were talking about. My mess is now art.
Yeah, it's turning into your message, right?
Yeah.
And it will every day that you choose to push through it. that
Yeah.
you get to the next one, right? Like, you're strong as hell.
I try. And I've been like, the one thing I was very consistent with this week, even if I didn't show up as much as I normally do in my Instagram stories, is that I'm not afraid to talk about what I'm struggling with anymore. Because I know that other people are struggling with it too. Like, and that, I mean, I always go back to when we did Fluoro Saturday at the retreat, but it's like we all struggle with mental health stuff. And I know most people aren't, I don't want to say I'm stronger than anybody, but most people are afraid to talk about it because they feel like people won't understand. And I guess because I'm so thankful that Instagram is the way it is, and it's like I'm just talking to me. Literally, I'm just talking to me on the screen because I'm looking at myself on the screen. But it's like I can openly talk about that with other people. And then I've been getting messages still, like my engagement's not as high, but one of my old coworkers, like I hadn't seen her in 2 years till I met up with her in person a couple weeks ago because you were like getting people's faces, so I did. And then she signed up with a challenge pack at 5:30 in the morning on Thanksgiving. So I'm at C4 right now. Yeah, I was like, dude. So I have someone hopefully signing up on Thursday. I'm gonna message her again that day.
Take them skydiving, baby. Take them skydiving. Show up. Sign them up in person.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, just you being you. I think being that friend if I need it.
All right. Well, we love you, and
Yeah, I love all of you.
next Tuesday, in whatever form you come
This week's gonna rock. I'm excited. I'm super excited for it.
in, be
That
fabulous.
week is always great.
Lisbeth.
Hey.
Hey.
Mm,
You like the balloon reference?
do I like?
Did you connect with the balloon, with the girl in the balloon? I totally thought of that when Lisbeth does these, does GoPro, the GoPro, like, what do they call it? What's the, it's like a
Yeah, it's a coaching
university thing. So basically she can call this line when she's having limiting beliefs, and a GoPro coach will like talk her through the limiting belief. And luckily for us on the Fit Crew, she shares these with us and helps us. And I've already used it. Like I use the one that you taught me about, the like, this is a system, and like thank your body for the system and rate the system and where do you feel it, and like I'll let her teach you these a different time, but I'm telling you right now, every time you share those, Lisbeth, I get something out of it. And if it's only me, keep doing it. Keep doing it, please. Okay, ready, go. How would you rate your action this week on a scale from 1 to 10?
Well, if we're talking about the current tracker, I'm 10. If we're talking about what the fuck you are all talking about doing, I'm like 2.
I know. It's like, the question is on an action level according to the tracker, not on life. So we can all suck at life and kick ass at the tracker. Am I right? Am I right?
No, I mean, like, you're like inviting 30 a day. The tracker says 5. I'm inviting 5 a day. I know it's a numbers game, but like, I swear when you guys were talking, they were like, you really need to be inviting like 30 a day and doing all this. And I was like, for a minute, I was like, I had a limiting belief. I was like, I can never do that. I should just quit right now. How terrible is that? How terrible.
So bad. So terrible.
It's like every time I like up it and I'm like, I'm getting this tracker, and then it's like, nope. A bit more. But that's right. I'm not getting the numbers I want. So how the hell do you invite 30 people a day?
Good question. How the hell do you invite 30 people a day?
Especially if you have conversations with them first. Which, by the way, I feel like I need to, because I never get responses when it's just the first thing I say to them.
But how many people have you had convos with in the last, like, however many months that you could now invite? Right? Like, we're not talking about cold inviting someone who you've never talked to in your life. We're talking about lukewarm inviting, somebody who you've had convos with, over the past couple months, and now you have a new opportunity on a specific date starting that you can invite them to. So when you do it that way, then it's just a copy and paste type of situation with maybe a few personal notes thrown in.
Yeah, maybe I gotta figure out a way to do that faster, because I usually look over the conversation we had so I can make sure I'm talking about what we talked about before, and looking at their page, what are they up to. Okay.
Let's do some together. You pick the date, you pick the time. Let's do some together.
All right.
Okay. It's like speed dating.
In other news, I'm at Success Club 2, made that happen with a Christmas gift. And I woke up this morning to someone I've been talking to about coaching for a while now, saying that she is going to do it. And I sent her the link, but I checked before this call and it has not been done yet.
Ooh.
So we shall see.
She knows about the discount?
That it ends. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple people who know that the sale ends at the end of November. So I'm hoping that lights a fire under their butt and they actually go. And I'm picturing my happy moment, getting very excited and saying my new belief, which is that I successfully closed the deal and I am consistently adding coaches and challengers to my team.
That's right, Boo. That's awesome. Is there anything that I can help you with this week?
Nope.
Okay. Well, guys, remember, as you are sharing your journey and talking to people, that even though it is within the culture of network marketing right now to have the limiting belief that this is the time of year that nobody wants to buy anything, I want you to all remember that retail in general and the entire, in the United States, is going through the roof. People are literally sitting by their computers looking for a deal. And so if you are the one who wants to close a deal, you have to have a deal. So you may need to get creative about what you can offer people in addition to what you normally have to make it a deal. Okay, so that's one thing. Yeah, exactly. So the whole world is spending a crap ton of money and we're like, nobody wants to spend money right now. Yes, they do. They do. They just don't want to spend money on something that's the same price as it always is, which is why Beachbody discounted it a little bit, but you may have to sweeten that deal with a swag bag, with Energize, with, I don't know, something else. I used to do pole dancing lesson for local people if they would get a challenge pack. It comes with a pole, use your skills, whatever they may be. So that was one thing. The other thing I want you to remember is that I'm hearing a lot of people say things like, I don't want to reach out because it's the holidays. You guys, yes, this is a crazy time of year. And yes, I can understand why some of you most busy people in the entire planet might be thinking or feeling, oh, you're frozen. Are you frozen? I really don't want you to be frozen. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? You can hear me? Jeez Louise. You're all still here. I'm just... crazy, thank you. Crazy time of the year. So it is one of the craziest times of the year. For you are all super busy, and I know that, but you need to also remember that there are so many people that this is the hardest time of the year for them. You may feel super busy right now, and know that there are people out there who have never felt as lonely as they feel this month. They are going through the first Christmas without a loved one, the first Christmas, you know, separated from their family, the first Christmas where everything feels different and looks different, and all, like, you have no idea how it could impact somebody to just reach out and introduce yourself and have a conversation and be friendly and be loving and invite them to do something that would give them hope. Don't forget that we have free options, free structure, free hope for people that may be really, really struggling, and you're not going to know who it is by looking at their Instagram. You're only going to find out by talking to them. Okay, so I hope that lights your fire a little bit and takes away that limiting belief that people don't want to hear from you right now, because maybe some people don't, and those ones won't waste your time. You know, those ones maybe won't respond, but there will be someone who will respond who needed to hear from you. So find them and talk to them, pour into them. Okay. Love you guys. Have a great night. Thanks for staying on, even though I froze. I'll work on that. They will come January. That's right, baby. Yeah, they definitely will. Okay, bye. Oh, wait, did somebody take a picture? Hopefully not of me frozen. Ugh. Okay. Light, baby. Wonderful. You all looked fabulous. And I will see you next week. Bye.